Today I'm going to talk about Myo and its JavaScript library. That's Myo. But before something about me, I'm Alex Canessa. Since everyone asked me, no, I'm not working for Telmic Lab, so I'm not advertising this arm. No, not the arm. The arm. Well, that's a good arm though. But I'm just gonna talk as a developer to other developers who want to build something cool. Now, a bit of history first about the development of hand gesture recognition. The first one is in 1999 from Leon Temerin, or Temerin, I suppose. And he had two antennas. Every antenna was emitting electrical static waves. And with the vertical antenna, it was able to control the pitch, while the horizontal one for the volume. In the 1989, we have the Nintendo Power Glove. It was pretty basic, but was amazing for those times. And it has just a crude tracker and fingerprints sensors. 1 year later, 1990, we have the Cyber Glove. Now, the Cyber Glove has 18 sensors in strategic points to recognize which gesture the hand was making. Then 2002, the P5 glove. Now this worked just like a mouse, multi-dimensional mouse, so two-dimensional mouse, and a lot of computer games were adapting their software to work with the 3D and these gloves. Although, even if it had many reviews, good reviews from gaming magazines, it didn't go forward than the novelty level since of lack of compatibility. Then, 2010, we go to the camera recognition with the Kinect, when the Xbox Kinect. This time we have depth-aware cameras. It has multiple cameras for the depth perception and an infrared grid which recognize the player's hand and body movements. Then the smart TV from Samsung. This time the camera becomes one. So just one camera, a 2D camera, which recognizes your hand movements, so you're able to control the volume and, well, switch between the channels. I'm pretty sure you know this one, Lip Motion. It's just a USB device you place in front of your computer. It works with two monochromatic cameras, IR cameras, and three infrared LEDs. 2015, we got Myo. Now, Myo is an armband which recognizes the electrical activity of your hand muscles, which are here in the forearm, and so it's able to recognize which gesture your hand is making. It also senses for all the orientations and the rotation of your hand of your forearm. Now, to show off what it can do, I'll put this little video in it. Sweet. Now you can imagine how did I feel the first time I wore one, right? I can do everything with this. So let's see how does it work. It works through EMGs. Now EMG stands for electromyography, and it's an electrodiagnostic technique for evaluating and recording the electrical activity produced by the skeletal muscles. In other words, you tense your muscles here and recognize it recognizes what you're doing. Now, some of the gestures and emotion we have are the double tap, spread fingers, the fist, wave in, wave out, and then rotation and movements. How does it work? Myo gives us a diagnostic page online. It looks like this. Now, I can't rely on the internet connection, so I download that image, but you will not be able to see the icons, I'm afraid. Let's go to it. So here we are. Yeah, the locked, unlocked is the status of Mio. If you want to unlock Mio, I double tap, and it's locked. Sorry, unlocked. Is always streaming the EMG data. So when I tense my muscles, it recognizes it. Then it got the orientation, the accelerometer, and the gyroscope. So when I rotate, you can see the cube is rotating. The movements on the Y, on the Z, and the X, also the speed I'm using. Keep in mind the event feed, because we're going to go back later. The gesture feed. Now, every time I will perform that gesture, the icon will disappear. Well, shouldn't disappear, should just switch the icons, but since we have no internet, it's just going to disappear. So I unlock it, and then double tap, spread fingers. No, spread fingers will do. Yeah. Then wave in. Sorry, wave in. Wave out. That icon in the bottom right is from my application, which connects Mio to the computer. Let's close this. Let's go back here. So the first thing came in my mind when I saw Mio is its future, right? And I think its future is basically on the medicine branch. Like this guy who lost, unluckily, his arm, and they were able to plug in a robotic arm controlled by a couple of Mio armbands. So he was able to move the arm with biceps and triceps, and deep concentrating this, since the hand muscles are here, he was actually able to move it. And let's see this 10 seconds, which is incredible. That's pretty cool. So let's have a look to the platforms where we can develop on. We have, of course, web applications, and it's JavaScript library, and it's the one we're going to talk today. But you can have Arduino application or Raspberry or whatever to build your own domotic home automation system. So you can go home and switch on and off your lights with your gestures. Virtual reality, so you can interact with virtual objects through the augmented reality. I've got a couple examples for that. Computer applications for all the computers, so it works with Linux, Mac, and Windows. And of course, smartphone. Everything works through Bluetooth, so it's pretty easy, adaptive. You can just need a Bluetooth shield for Arduino or nothing for the others. Talking about Arduino, this guy created a lock for his front door with Arduino. So what is he doing? He double tap to unlock Mio, perform a fist, rotate, and the door is open. It's going to go to the other side to show how it is. It's pretty simple. You can see the Arduino board on the left. It's connected through the It's not that beautiful though, but it's still very cool. These guys over here, they built a game called Icarus, where you can basically fly and shoot with 2 armbands. You can actually be Iron Man. Yeah, I'm an Iron Man fan. I think you got it. That's pretty cool. So let's start. To connect Mio, you just wear it. You need a Bluetooth adapter on your computer and an application called Mio Connect. Once you wear it, it asks you for maybe a minute or less to warm up with your electrical activity of your muscles. That's the JavaScript library. So it's pretty easy to it's pretty simple to use. You just download it to internet, and you include it through the script tag, or you install it through npm. So you require it, and Mio.connect creates the connection with the WebSocket, and let's start talking. It started talking with your application on the computer. As you can see, it's based on events. So every time you perform a pose, every time you move your arm, every time you lock, every time Mio locks, it's performing an event. You can catch the event through an event listener. So you do mio.on, event name, callback. This is it. So unconnected, this, so now this is not that capital Mio is the actual R-band. So every time you connect, these will be overwritten unless you store in an array or something like that. Some of methods and events we have. Of course, we have on and off to manage the events. So on, you set an event listener on an event. Off, you remove it. And these are some of the events. We have pose, orientation, arm sync, connected, locked, and battery level. We also have all the events for the single gestures, but we're going to see it later. Other methods are lock, unlock, vibrate, 3MG. Anyway, you can find it online on GitHub in the documentation. Let's do some code. All right, in this, I'm working in a Node environment, so I already installed the npm module for Mio, because if I tried here with the interconnection, I wouldn't do it. So let's do var Mio equal require Mio. Then we have Mio connect. So start talking with my WebSocket. The application name, which could be whatever we choose. Then we do Mio.on connected function. So whenever you connect, we're going to do this, that vibrate. You will not listen to it, but I will see. And then we have this, that on, pose. Pose is an event which returns a pose name. So in the function, I have pose name, and we'll console log it. You see, it's bloody simple. So if I node, what was it, Topconf? Yeah. It vibrates, double tap to unlock it. Every time I perform a gesture, it's console log the gesture. Whoa, right? Let's go more deep. All right, let's create a function for the bind events. So lower M Mio is the actual R band. I'll do bind events and this. Sweet. Now Mio on fist. So when I perform a fist, the callback function, what I'm going to do is Mio, I'm going to set an event listener on the orientation. The orientation gives me data object, which is X, so the rotation, Y, and Z. Let's console log the X. So the rotation. So double tap, fist, here we are. You see, it's pretty sensitive. Yeah? Now, let's make it more interesting. First of all, we want on fist off. So when I release the off, thank you. that's the difficult talk to do if one of the gestures is called fist. You need to just be careful, right? When I perform the fist, I'm gonna Mio the off the orientation. So I'm gonna remove the listener from the orientation. Again, very easy. Also, I want the X to be something more cool. An array of my flow. Let's take data X plus 0.90 because, well, you can't have an array of negative elements. And it can go until minus 90, minus 0.90. We multiply it by 100. 1, 2, 3, sweet. And join everything in asterisks. And then we console log it. Let's try that. So, perform a fist, here we are. Yeah? So you already built an application to control a volume in a web, right? Let's make it crazy now. All right. We're developers, we're lazy, so I'm gonna do everything in a function. Do it. Which accepts data, a string. Return days. So this is the data, and this is the string. It's gonna do x, sorry. So x is do it with data.x and an asterisk. And then we're gonna do the same for the y and the z with different chars. Here we are. So to recap, I include the library, connect it to the WebSocket, connect it, bind events, Mio. When I perform fist, I set the orientation event on. I console log this weird data, and when I perform the fist off, I set off the event as well. Let's try that. So double tap, and here we are. So these, no, not too much, wait. Yeah, these are all the data. So we have the X, the Y, and the Z. So this could be a cool application for a DJ. So while you're playing, you something like that, right? Talking about DJs, these guys, they built something where they can, sorry, let me close that thing, otherwise it's gonna keep vibrating. All right. So he had 2 Mio armbands, and he was controlling the lights of the car. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, let's go on. WebSockets. Everything is built on it, right? So every time I connect it, it starts talking with my computer with WebSockets. How does it work? According to MDN, I'm going to read it. WebSockets is an advanced technology that makes it possible to open an interactive communication session within a user's browser and a server. With this API, you can send messages to a server and receive event-driven responses without having to pull the server for a reply. What does it mean? We create the connection. Mio creates the connection, that's the library. Applying to the property socket, it just needs a URL to connect to. To this URL will be attached the app ID we chose before. We need to focus only on 2 things, the socket.send function and the socket.onMessage property. Every time you want to send something to the WebSocket in a JSON formatted data, you use the .send. Every time you want to listen for everything the socket is pushing over, you do onMessage. Again, what does it mean? Every time Mio pushes his data to the WebSocket in a JSON formatted, and the JavaScript library with the onMessage property is listening to him. So every time you perform a pose, every time you move, Mio is sending to the WebSocket your Mio application on your computer. Mio.js library gets it and do whatever you want. In the opposite way around, whenever you want to trigger something to Mio, such as locking, vibrate, something like that, is the JavaScript library which sends something to the WebSocket in a JSON data formatted type and goes to the Mio, which is listening as well. Cool. That's the actual function. So it's handling all the messages coming with a function, with its own function. I'm not going to go that deep, but that's the pose event. So you can see it's triggering 2 events. The second one, I have the line, yeah. The second one This one is a generic pose. You remember when I console log the pose name. So it's actually passing there here. The first one over there is a single gesture. So I'm able to do on finger spread. When he wants to send something, he sends it through this. So it's pretty easy to use WebSockets in general. The vibrate function sends this command, vibrate, to Mio, which is listen, or actually to the WebSocket, so listen by the Mio armband. And this is the ID, the MAC of the Mio armband. The browser support, WebSockets are very well supported all around. You can see it's 16, 7, 11, or 10, 12, and 12.1. Now, here we are at the Mio market. Again, I'm just going to show you the picture since no internet. Since it's one of the few markets with just no more than 50 applications on it, you can propose your name on it. You can actually create applications for Android, OS X, or Linux, Windows. Everything comes in your mind. You can find something like a Spotify connector, where you can control the volume and switch on, switch between songs in Spotify, or VLC connector. So that's a good chance. Let's snap. All right, I'll prepare something for you. It's a small application. Here we are. It's a small JavaScript application, so only JavaScript, which allows me to control the camera on my computer through my gestures. What does it do? Okay, I require Mio. I connect it to my application, so connect again connects to the socket, and this is the app ID. Then down here, when I connect it, I bind the fist gesture, which is here. Whenever I perform the fist, I take snap, which is this function over here. Can you see if I do this? Yeah? All right. So webcam is an external library. It has this snap method, and pass the data URI just attached to a source of an image. Then I show the results. So every time I perform fist, I show whatever I just take. Then I remove the listener on the fist, and I set to heaven listener on the wave in and wave out. What do? They switch between the pictures you've just done. And last one. Where is it? On finger spread, I remove the active class, so I go back to the camera mode. And I remove the listener from the wave in, the wave out, and I set another listener on the fist gesture. Let's see if it does work now. No. On TV. All right. Here we are. I'm not going to put all of you guys. I know you few. OK, so I double tap to unlock it. Here you will see a log of what I'm doing. Double tap to lock, and picture. Let's do another one. Everyone, I want to try this. I just did it before in the hotel. Everyone with your right arm on the right. Sweet. Say this, yeah? All right, I'll go back to the camera mode. Sorry. I go back to the camera. Say this the way nowhere. Sorry. No? Yeah. OK, ready? OK, another one on the other side. The same arm. Same arm, other side. OK. Here we are. Now, with waving, wave out, I can go through the pictures, right? So, all right. Let's make another one, just for Twitter. So I want to stay here. It's Twitter, right? Serious. So tongue off. Yeah. Ready? Look at the camera over there. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I'm the only one with the tongue off.
It's a good tongue, though.
Oh, no. Again, I'm right. All right, let me. All right, I'm the only one with the tongue off. It's fine. Cool. I think I'll rant a little bit, so I've finished. If you have any questions, please go for it. Okay, good question. It lasts 1 day of continuous working, or in standby mode, it lasts like a week.
Have you thought of any serious applications, not just proof of principles?
I'm thinking one. It's not that serious, though. I want to create a. I basically want to create a patch. Since you have access to the EMG data, I want to create the Italian gestures, like I don't care what you're doing, or stuff like that. Also, something you can get money, I think, is the environment, like you can do accessibility applications. So it could be an add-on for Google Chrome or something like that, and you can go for the headings or something like that with your gestures. So that could be a good one. It can be done, but otherwise, well, I needed to show you other things, so it's like.
That's a good point. Like, what's it like to switch between applications, or can you build some kind of overarching app and then control and select items that you then want beforehand?
That's already in. I don't have the application, but there is an application to switch between yeah, that's the way. Okay, there is an application to switch between applications. Although, this thing, which is native, allows me also to use the mouse. Looks like this finger spread makes it any problem so far. Okay, I'm going to show you in a bit. So if you have any other questions, I'm going to sync it again. Yeah?
Is it about cheap sensors? Is that why all this stuff is coming out?
Sorry?
Well, you went, in the beginning, you went through all those different gloves and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Dating back till 80s, I think. Is it coming out, is it coming back again because now the sensors are cheap enough?
I think the sensors are different. I mean, now they are actually EMG, which control the muscles. Before, we're just controlling the movements. So the sensors were positioned in a way to understand the movement, or even the camera. This time, this is more, here we are. This is more better detail. What the hell? Yeah, let me save this. So yeah, I don't think it's about shipping also because it's under 50 pounds, which is not that cheap. Okay, let me. The fuck? Yeah, I want to show. Oh, all right. I want to show you the mouse. Yeah, so that's the pointer. You click with the double tap, I think. Yeah, but how can I show the click over here? No, maybe this. There is a way. I don't know the way. Oh, here. Sorry, the mouse. All right, let me go back. So, other questions? If no other questions, you can see the slides on a speaker deck. The code of live coding is on GitHub, or either you can give me questions on Twitter or through mails, whenever you want. Thank you.